Hi, everybody. Just waiting for a few people to get in the room. Anybody coming on? Okay, somebody's here. Hi. Hi, everybody. Oh, God, my nose itches. A fight or money? I'll take money. No fight. Oh, I need a drink. Son of a gun. Somebody just added something to their bundle. Of course, that doesn't necessarily turn into a sale, but so be it. Okay, just gonna wait for a few more people to come in the room. Why don't you say hi? Let me know who's here. Anybody want to say hi? Oh, hi, Mary. Glad you're here. Hi, Kay. Okay. Mary, once again, you decide whether you want me to read what you wrote to me or whether you want to share it from your end. I went back to the gym today for the first time since I fell, and boy, did everything hurt. Truly it did. Not fun. Hi, Rita. Okay, I don't know how many people are going to come to join us tonight. Hi. Good to see you. Sorry I couldn't get back to you, Sheila. I was out and things got a little screwy. It's so hard. I mean, it's really there is nothing worse to me as a parent than to have to deal with something so challenging for a child. I mean, it's just so hard. You want to make it better. Hi, Melissa. Glad you're here with us. Okay, we're getting more people in the room, so okay. All right, so I'm going to start to share it. This is what Mary had written to me earlier. She said Lance visited his internist this morning. Unfortunately, he was unable to pull up the results of the CT scans of his abdomen and pelvis performed on Tuesday. The internist's office called the surgeon's office that had ordered the scans to have them emailed or faxed to his office for review, and the internist said he'll also call and speak to the surgeon regarding the same. The surgical referral information was provided for the oncology surgeon to give to Aetna to approve him seeing him at UAB, that is out of network. It will take 2 to 15 days for that approval, as it has to be approved by a board at Aetna. The UAB surgeon has indicated he also wants a chest CT scan as well as a full body bone scan. They performed the chest scan today, no results as yet, and scheduled the bone scan for this coming Tuesday. We also mentioned the fact that blood clots were seen in the initial MRI, and that situation needed to be addressed as well. The internist recommended he go on short-term disability at least through September 3rd, so the additional tests and doctor's visits can be compiled and an initial treatment plan brought together. The internist also gave him a prescription for medication that will hopefully help him with his extreme, as you know, she wrote to me, and Lord knows I do, pain, which will be a blessing. In the meantime, I'll be calling Cedars-Sinai and UCLA sarcoma centers tomorrow morning to see if 1, they'll accept his Aetna insurance, and 2, if they will, what are the next steps we need to take, i.e. Do we need a referral, etc.? I cannot tell you and the Owls how very much I appreciate each and every one of you for your prayers, input, and moral support. I love you all. Okay. First of all, I hate that they were not able to pull up the results. They certainly should have had them by now if they were done on Tuesday. I know sometimes between offices it's difficult. That's one of the things that I find so helpful when I go to my surgeon for the follow-up visits, because she has the CAT scans done right there. I have the scan done, and within an hour, my appointment with her. And though they haven't yet done a written report, they look at it and they give her their preliminary findings. So by the time I see her, she will tell me. And she told me last time that there was no change, which obviously are the words that you want to hear. So not having the results it's got to add to the frustration, the fear, and all of the tension that goes along with it. Having to deal with the other stuff that it's not medically involved, but it's, comes down to money and who will accept what and who will pay for what. And again, I find it so astounding that the care one receives is based almost solely on money and who takes what insurance. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's definitely, I mean, you're facing an uphill battle at this moment in time. I really hope they have those results for you soon. And that's exactly what they did with me, by the way, Mary. My scans are always done from high in the abdomen all the way down to my thigh. So they get to take a look at the whole picture of it. I hope the medication does help him. I think it certainly should. And yeah, having that pain all the time is just so hard to deal with. And I'm sure it's hard for him to walk, and with all the other issues that he has to face with this at this point. So, yeah, I think the next step definitely is to get that information. And as I say, I will definitely, Mary, be in touch as soon as I'm able to with Rachel's father. As I say, I'm not sure if he's away or if he's at home at this point, but I will do my best to find out for you. And as soon as I can reach David, I will ask him to please check with Paul and see what he can find out. The more information that I can give him, the better. I know you said that you would have the scans available if he wanted to take a look at it. And I certainly will ask him if he would take a look at it, if he had any input. I can't promise. I know he did it for me as a huge favor for David, but I don't know how it works when it's some other doctor's patient. I'm not clear on it, but I know that he'll do whatever he can in terms of recommendations, or if he knows anybody, but needing to know, of course, what kind of a sarcoma it is, because as I say, there are so many types. Is it soft tissue? You mentioned bone involvement. So is it solely bone? Is it bone and soft tissue? There's a lot that needs to be discerned at this point. The internist said the hospital, oh, the system's antiquated. Uh, yeah. Yeah, it's hard too when they have the system. I know that Paul could not access the system to see my scan. I know. I know, isn't that amazing? He couldn't see it without my sending him my link where I could see it. That was the only way he was able to do it, and he was not able to log into the system to see, because each one does have their own proprietary system, and he had to wait until they sent him a disk, and they did send him a disk, but it took a while for him to get because they mailed it to him. They physically mailed it to him from New York to California. So that did take a little bit of time, but at least he had access through my gateway to see the original MRI results. So that was helpful. And I know the waiting has got to be torture. I really hope the pain medication helps. I hope that it makes a difference for him in being able to tolerate it. I think with his taking that leave of absence for the period of time is probably a really good idea to be able to get all of this taken care of. So once again, anything that anybody knows that can be helpful, I think that we all have to continue praying, and we all have to do whatever it is that we can do. The next step we need to know is, will they approve him seeing the other doctor? You know, with something that is so rare. Lance is in his 40s, right? Was he about 45, or did I have that wrong? So having it take, what did you say, anywhere from 2 to 15 days to get approval? It's horrible. It really is horrible. Yeah, yes, soft tissue and bone. Yeah, but she had explained to me, Mary, that there are at least 110 different varieties of soft tissue sarcoma. That's why you need somebody who's really a specialist in the field, because what she had explained to me was that each one of them has a different protocol. Um, that each one is treated differently, and I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I know with mine, they knew a certain amount. They knew that it was a sarcoma. They had no idea what kind it was. I'm trying to remember. I seem to could it have been pleomorphic? I know they said it was spindle cell high grade sarcoma, but I gather spindle cell, I thought it was a type, but it's just the way it appears from what I gather. So I don't know. Yeah. And it makes it really, really difficult until they kind of focus in. I know they waited for me. Part of the determining factor for all of it was when they did the biopsy, because the biopsy told them more about it. They took, I think, 7 or 8 samples that they ran, and that gave them additional information to go by, so they knew what they were looking at. And with it all, she still told me that until they opened me up, they wouldn't know exactly what they were dealing with. And that was, I think it was the biopsy that, and still, it was non-specified. So they never knew exactly, yeah, they never knew exactly what it was. I'm trying to remember the exact wording of it, but it goes back a year, and of course, it's not my area of expertise. But something just occurred to me. I had the paperwork I was looking at. It was upstairs in my kitchen. Um, I was just looking at it the other day because I was putting some paperwork away. I was filing things, and I came across the packet that they had sent me before the surgery. that had information from the biopsy, information from the CAT scan, and I think it mentioned what they had seen in the MRI. It's very aggressive, yeah. Yeah, I know, yeah. And then they have the 3 different kinds of biopsies that they do. What is one fine needle, one is core needle, and the other one is in the OR where they actually open, yeah. They definitely don't want those cells to migrate to other areas. Absolutely. So I know, that's a factor, and again, they have to make a determination in each one of them. So, yeah, you definitely need more information. Alright, I'm not sure exactly how to present it to Rachel's father, but I'll tell David to ask him what he needs from me to help him to help. Um, yeah, and we'll see what we can do from this end. But I'm not aware of anything else other than what we had already spoken about. And, certainly if he does need the, if he does need radiation, and often they do recommend radiation and chemo. In my case, with my particular sarcoma, I think I told you that they said the difference with doing the chemo was only 4%. So, yeah, not too terribly late, Kathy. Um, so that, that there are so many factors that go into it, that filter into it, into helping them to know exactly what it is that they're dealing with. But there is always that the proton therapy as a possibility, but only the doctors can make the decision. And I have to tell you, one of the things, and my surgeon had said at the time, she really was a little upset with me because she wanted me to see this the radi- radiation oncologist. I think that's what he was called. She wanted me to see the one that she wanted me to see, who was a specialist in the sarcoma, um, with regard to radiation therapy. And I said I was not going into the city to do that because then I would have to go into the city for my treatments and everything. And that was not going to happen. But I was very, very lucky once again with the doctor that I got out here, who obviously working with their nuclear specialist and all the people involved in that team, where they come up with a plan and then they draw it up and they create this image that my brother was explaining to me how it works. And what they do is they differentiate it by different colors so that they know based upon the color how much radiation they're going to throw at any particular area. Again, trying to throw less at the places where it can damage other surrounding tissue. Again, I'm no expert, so I'm just giving you my layman's take on what was explained to me by people who know better than I do, but my extrapolation of it could be a little bit off. So take it with a grain of salt, but there is some data in there that I know was valid. So the more information you have, the better it's going to be. And do I assume then that your doctor will call as soon as he is able to get that report? I mean, God, if they can at least email it to him, that should be quicker, so that even if he can give you the gist of it, if he can give you a basic overview, it would be helpful and give you a little bit of direction to go in. But you have a lot of work to do anyway in terms of finding a team that are going to be the best team for him to help him fight this misery. Did they have any idea yet, based upon the tests that they have done, about the size of this thing? Because as I told you with mine, they determined by the end of it that it was 26 point something centimeters by 12 point something. I don't remember the exact measurement, but that's what it was. It was absolutely huge. And they were able to, knock wood, get it all out. So I think as long as it's encapsulated, that would be a really good sign. So I'm praying for that for him. And is there anything else that you can share with us, or anything else that any input that anybody else has that might be helpful? Okay. Yeah. This whole insurance thing makes me totally crazy. I sometimes think that the way they have it in England, I know that there are issues with that too, and it takes them a long time to get to see a doctor sometimes. But at least if you need treatment, you get treatment. To get treatment based upon one's ability to pay is horrible. I know. I know. It is. It is. It's just, it's so rare. And yet here we are dealing with the same thing. And I have to tell you, for me, it brought the whole thing back, the whole horror of it, and going through it. And there's just so much uncertainty because so much less is known about it than so many other things. I think for me, once again, the one hope I hold out for it is this whole immunotherapy, because I think that is the greatest hope that we have for the future of dealing with not only this, but so many other cancers. And I mean, my God, to be able to fight it on that level of having your body fight it itself, that is a gift. So that would be a wonderful way to go. But again, they have new things all the time. My medical oncologist had told me that they had new programs and new things that they were working on constantly with immunotherapy. Yeah. If they don't grant you, well, let's not even go there. I was going to say, if they don't, can you go directly to one in one of those hospitals in California? Because I would think at that point the thing would be to just go and just get there and be able to have him treated there, where, I mean, surely he's going to have so much more information. They'll have so much more information at their hands there than they will locally at the local hospitals. And I think once again, it kind of, oh God, my nose is itching. Once again, I think it just says that when you have any kind of real medical condition you need to be concerned about, it's important to be near really good health care. And it's something that I will definitely factor into whatever my future plans are, because it's at least to have the comfort of knowing that you have your best chance with that kind of care is a huge factor. How is your son dealing with it now? Oh, good. Cedar takes Aetna? Yeah. Oh, that's really good news. Yeah, I have to tell you, my first appointment that was scheduled with my surgical oncologist, they had asked me about my insurance, and they would not have seen me if I didn't have insurance that she accepted. So, yeah, I'm really, really grateful for that. Isn't that great news? That really is wonderful news. So I'm so happy to see that. Um, I don't know. I'm guessing that Sandy's not on because Sandy had asked earlier if there was any news in the Night Owl's page. So I'm imagining that maybe Denise told her or somebody had seen it and let her know, because I let her know that I would be on tonight talking to you again. So, okay. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, good. Oh, I'm so glad, Mary. That's terrific. Do remind him again, though, if he's at all open to it, to try that meditation thing. Made such a huge difference in my dealing with everything about it before the surgery. So just offer that up as a suggestion. All right. Again, there's nothing else that I can contribute at this point, because until we know a little bit more, I think we have to wait for the next step. So Mary, I'm assuming that you're going to tell us as soon as you know anything. I'll be on again. Oh, good. Good. I'm glad. Again, it's on YouTube. It's free. All he has to do is listen to it. There is one in particular. Damn, I meant to put it on our page. I'll put it on the page tonight, the link to it, because it is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, let me know as soon as you know anything else. Now, this is Thursday night. I'll be on Sunday night anyway. If there's anything earlier than that that we know, tell me, and I'll certainly communicate it to make sure that everybody is on the same page and that we can continue the prayers to help to get him to the next step. Okay, so I'm glad everybody was here. And yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. We should all be able to connect, at least on Voxer, phone numbers if you want to do that. And yes, okay, I will see you all soon. And you know that I'm holding all of this very close to my heart. Take care, everybody. Have a good night.